Hmm? Shall we start, madam? Venus Singha, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm just trying to connect it with the laptop so that I am able to share the screen also.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Madhumita.
Yes, sir. Good morning to one and all present here. We are now going to start the session. We cordially welcome our beloved chief guest, Dr. Meenu Singla ma'am, for this session. The topic of today's session is use of SPSS as a tool for data analysis. Now I invite Dr. D. Kuneshekar sir to address the speaker. Thank you.
Good morning to all. I, Dr. T. Guneshegar, Associate Professor of Mathematics, School of Sciences and Humanities, Wiltec University. I am glad to introduce our research person of this session, Dr. Meenu Singla. Currently, she is working as an assistant professor in the Department of Commerce, Sri Aravinda College of Commerce and Management, Ludhiana, affiliated to Punjab University, Chandigarh, India. She has obtained her PG, MBA, and MPhil degrees from reputed universities, and she earned her doctorate in management from IK Gujarat, Punjab Technical University, India. Her academic interest in the area of HRM rating job satisfaction, employee retention, EHRM, supply chain management, and also in entrepreneurship and leadership, corporate social responsibility, teaching pedagogy, etc. And she has authored a book on service marketing. She has 20 years of academic, research, and industrial experience in various reputed organizations. She published more research articles in the reputed international journals like SCI, Web of Science, Scopus, and UGC CARE journals. She has participated and presented research at IIM. Also, she organized many workshops, webinar, guest lecture, and conferences. She is a technical committee member and a session chair for the various seminar, national and international conferences. She is also acting as a resource person for Punjab Police Academy, pillar for the training of various probatory officer class 1 in managerial aspect and other educational institute of high repute. She is an active social worker and working for women empowerment. She has taken various industrial interface projects with numerous industrial units that have equipped her with the connection of theoretical and practical appreciation of the diverse aspects. She was honored by the institution for excellence and contribution in various fields. We are very delighted to welcome you, ma'am, on this wonderful session of this online international faculty development program on current trends in applications of mathematics. Thank you, ma'am. Now we hand over the section to Dr. Meenu Singla, madam. Madam, please proceed. Madam, you are muted.
Thank you so much, sir, for the warm welcome. And I really feel
Again muted, madam. Again you are muted, madam.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share my views. And I'll try to share my presentation. Please see if it is visible.
You are audible, madam.
Sir, I'm sharing my presentation. Just a minute.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. If possible, send to us, madam. We also will share. Yes, madam. PPT sharing. Visible, madam. You are visible, madam, but not audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now audible and visible, madam.
Okay, right, sir, right. So my topic would be a hands-on session on SPSS. It is a tool for data analysis. I hope, sir, may I know who the participants are? They are the faculty members, na?
Yeah, faculty members from various countries, madam. All over India and other countries also. 200 participants from the outside India. Total 2,500 participants, madam, around.
Right. It's really great.
We are in Google Meet and YouTube platform, madam. Two link we given the participant.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
Please write down and convey whatever you want. Okay. So I think so all the participants, if they have any problem in downloading SPSS, they can just share with me. Or otherwise, I assume it ki all do have SPSS downloaded as a software. So if you don't have the licensed version, then also there is a trial version which is for 1 month, and it can be downloaded from IBM SPSS. मतलब ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ. So when we are talking about this SPSS, it is a statistical package for social sciences. It was first launched in 1968 and acquired by IBM in 2009 and officially known as IBM SPSS. SPS is a software for editing and analyzing all sorts of data. It can open all file formats. For example, it could be the spreadsheets from MS Excel or Office, plain text files, relational databases, anything it could. So one important thing is why SPSS. So it is a comprehensive statistical software, and complex statistical tests are a built-in feature. It is user interface and it is based upon point and click. Result interpretation is relatively very easy as compared to any other softwares, if we want to say. So I think so whenever we are into research or whenever we are doing any of our uh, studies, in that case, if we want to analyze the data, SPSS is the simplest tool which we are finding it so easy. This is a little bit of the overview related the main features of SPSS, where we can open the data files in SPSS file format or others that I have already shared. Added the data, that is computing the sums or means over columns or rows, any way we can edit. Then create the tables, charts with frequency counts or summary statistics. It can run the inferential statistics like ANOVA, regression, factor analysis. And lastly, whenever we have run the any of the analysis, we can save the data or the output sheets in a variety of file formats, which we can use directly in our research. Basically, it is convenient as per the user. That's why we are saying it is user interface, and accordingly, people can use it and express it, or the output could be shared as they require in their specific, I could say, any of the documents wherever they want to present it. If we open the SPSS layout, this would be the first screen which we would be receiving. Just see. Before opening the, because I won't be able to open two side by side. First, I'll just show the layout and all. Then I will be directly opening the software. So in this case, this one, it is marked over here. This is the menu bar where we have all the directions, what we are going to do. And these are all the icons, what they want to express. This is the startup dialog box. And accordingly, we can just choose whatever is our option, and accordingly, we can start with our software. And further, when we would be able to open the file, connect the file through the open from this first icon is file. From the file option, we can open and we can import the data from the Excel file itself. And when the file is attached, we would be having the two views. One would be the data view, the other one would be the variable view. So in the case of the data view, it is going to display our data values as well as the variables are in the columns. That would be the layout, I would say. And if we talk about the SPSS variable view, here we would be having the rows where we are shown the various variables, and the columns where the properties of the variables are indicated. It shows the metadata associated with the data. Metadata is the information about the meaning of variables and the data values. For example, if I say my any of my column or any of my variable that is representing gender, I would say uh, gender. In gender, I would be having, let it be, if I have taken two categories, male and female, or if I have added the third category also, other. So I am going to write it male as 1, female as 2, or other as 3. That is upon me. Okay, whatever I want to do, that is on the basis of what I am representing. So this is known as the code book or the dictionary. And accordingly, we would be getting the results and we are going to interpret as according to our what we have fed in the data. Okay. Till now, if anyone wants to ask me anything, I am open. That was just the basics. So, little bit of the types of the data. When we are talking about so much about the data and all, we have two categories of data, that is qualitative data as well as the quantitative data. When we want to talk about the qualitative data, just we want to talk about the nominal data or the ordinal data. So categorical data, it is the information by category and not the number. It is depicted by words, pictures, symbols, it could be anything. Nominal data, that is used just for labeling the variables without any type of quantitative value. For example, gender, male, female, other, anything. Marital status. Then ordinal data, that is given by numbers. For example, first, second, third person in race. That is just the numbers. That is expressing something. It is giving the meaning to the data. Then quantitative data. It answers the questions about how much, how many, how often. And these are the numerical variables. Discrete data, it involves discrete data as well as the continuous data. Discrete data, it involves integers which can't be divided into parts. For example, number of students in a class or the workers which might be working. So similarly, we have continuous data which are measured on a scale which if reduced to half also is still meaningful. For example, height of children, then speed of cars, weight of a person. These are all related to continuous data. So this is the categorization. If we want to understand our data is qualitative or quantitative. Similarly, we have interval scale as well as the ratio scale. Interval scale, 0 point is arbitrary. And in this case, we want to talk like about Likert scale, that is standard starting from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Temperature can be negative. So that is all the examples of the interval scale. Similarly, we have the ratio scale where 0 is always fixed. Income can't be negative. Sales can't be negative. Age could be an example. Height could be an example. So we just want to distinguish what is the interval scale, what is the ratio scale, and how we are going to express it. Because these are all the options when we are going to feed the data, how we are going to measure it, how we are going to express it. So this is one rule for defining the data, if it is continuous or of measurement can be reduced in half and still it makes the sense the data is said to be continuous. For example, if I talk about number of children, if I say 1, 2, 3, 4, it's okay. Okay. But in this case, if I talk about temperature, temperature could be -5, -7. Okay. So here we are talking about the continuous or discrete data, how we are expressing it. We can just see it from here. And these are all the references which I have taken from Andy Field's book. That is basically the base. So this was all something related to the basics of this SPSS. I will be sharing the software, just how I am going to open it and how we are going to interpret. Even if we are talking about the Excel sheets also, then also we can calculate so many things, so many formulas could be applied there, and we can get the analysis of our data through Excel also. But still, it is a spreadsheet software. So when we are using about this SPSS, it is the statistical analysis software. Just a minute.
Screen is not visible, ma'am.
Just see if it is visible now.
Doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right, sir. So in this case, I have attached my file from this file folder. Just see. This is when we have opened this SPSS software, and if you have the download, if you all have downloaded the software, just go into the start menu, and from the start menu, just move towards the IBM SPSS, and जो भी आपके पास version है, just open that, click on that version, and this will open on its own. This file is already attached, and when I go with the file, just a minute. Right. See, can you all see the cursor moving? The first column is age, then it is marital status. It could be something related to address. I don't require it. I can just clear it if I don't require anything. So it's very simple when we have attached the file along with it. This is all related to income. It could be income category, car price category. And when we have opened this data set also, there are also the examples of SPSS if you want to take any of the data sets for just the practice also. So this is all what is shown as the data view. At the bottom, we are having two views, data view as well as the variable view. When I am talking about this variable view, it is talking about all the, just see, all these variables. The first one is age. See, so this is, we have to write what sort of the variable it is. These are the values which I have already expressed. For example, I have to just write down what it represents. If I say, let it be, I have categorized into groups. I say, if it is 1 implies it is less than 30 years of age. So all people who are less than 30 years of age, that would be marked as 1. Then 2, that is 31 to 40. 3, that is 41 to 50. 4, that is above 50. Here we have to put the values. जो भी value हमने इसमें डालनी है, जो भी है, that we can put, and we can put the label. Label means what I am going to write. Value is 1 and the label is going to be less than 30. And accordingly उसके बाद OK करना है, and these values are going to be added over here. What I am denoting, this is the code book. Similarly, कौन सा स्केल है, ऑर्डिनल है, नॉमिनल है, क्या है, those things are even selected. So this is how we are adding to our code book. This is the data view. I'll just show. Whatever I express, कुछ भी यहाँ से दबाते हैं. So the dialog box occurs and we can do whatever we want to. And similarly, we can save. as per our required format also. Let it be. I go for this analyze. I want to calculate something about the frequencies. I go into descriptive statistics and frequencies. Just see. यहाँ से I am going to select whichever variable I want to. For example, I'll just clear this box first. I want to know about age, what sort of the people I do have. I want to understand their marital status also. So whatever, John सा भी variable I am going to choose. यहाँ से click किया, this will come into this variable box, and accordingly I can have the information about that. I can have the statistics for that. Similarly, let it be one variable is age. I have selected where I want to know about it. Age के basis पे what is the sort of the respondents I do have. Similarly, let it be I have taken the marital status. Now I go for this statistics and let it be I have chosen range. Mean it could be, median it could be, minimum, maximum, limit it could be. Yeah, that depends upon us. Whatever we want, we would be getting that sort of the data. And then it is continue. And after continue, it is okay. Just see. Just see. This is the statistics. If I want to talk about, we have chosen two variables, that was age as well as marital status. So for age, we have 400 का data हमारे पास है, जो n is that is 400 and the missing are 100. So हमें ये भी पता लग जाएगा अगर हमारा डेटा पूरा नहीं है, उसको हमें कंप्लीट करना है and we have to go for it. Similarly, the mean age that is 39.43. We will get all what we have chosen. हमने खुद सिलेक्ट किया था हमने क्या करना है, क्या चीजों को हमने किसकी वैल्यूज चाहिए. Median age is 41. Range is 75. It starts from minimum is 1 and maximum is 76. Similar things, similar statistics we have for marital status also.
Ma'am, output file is not visible.
Output file is not visible. Just a minute, sir. Okay, I'll share the screen again then. I'll share the whole screen. Please see.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Visible.
Okay, thank you.
Output is now visible, doctor.
Still not visible?
Visible, doctor. Very much visible.
Right. I'll show it again, okay? How we derived the output. Just a minute. I've gone through this. Let it be.
Enlarge the screen, sir. Please. Sorry to disturb. Screen enlarge. Minimum size need to be.
Sivan sir, is there any query? I'm not able to recognize the
Sorry,
question.
madam. The
Yes,
screen
sir.
enlarge. Screen size kindly, if possible, enlarge. Yes, it's minimum size only is showing. If possible, control. Otherwise, you can manage.
Just see if it is okay now.
Okay, a little bit. Okay, thank you. Continue. Sorry to disturb.
Okay. Let it be. I go in this analyze.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. From analyze, I go into descriptive statistics. From descriptive statistics, I choose frequencies. I have to choose the variable. Okay, abhi I'll reverse what I have done. Just see again. I want to get some statistics related to age responding to my data sheet. कि मेरे पास कितनी एज ग्रुप के लोग इसमें इंक्लूडेड है. So I'll select age, press this arrow, and age is in this variable. Similarly, I want to know what is the marital status of my respondents. Again, I have chosen this marital status. I go for statistics. Statistics में जो भी मुझे चूज करना है उसको मैं टिक कर दूंगी. I want to choose mean, mean को टिक किया. I want to choose median, median को टिक किया. Whatever I want to do. Then I want to know about range, minimum, maximum. Okay, and continue. Continue के बाद this is okay. Okay के साथ I get this output. Just see if any doubt till here. So this is related to age. It is related to marital status. We got the data. How many valid cases are there? How many missing cases are there? So we can just trace if any of the missing cases are there in our data, and we can just complete our data set. If we are unable to complete the data set, at least we are able to locate it. We can remove that thing so that we don't have the gaps and we have the complete data set which is actually usable for analysis further. The mean age for the respondents which I have, that is 39.43. Similarly, the median age is 41. If I want similar figures for marital status, I do have. This is the frequency table. That was for age. This is for marital status. Marital status mein we had the options married as well as single. And accordingly, we have the frequency that 207 out of the total data set of 400, 207 are married, 193 are single. And similarly, if we want to talk about the percentage, 51.8%, and that is 48.3%. Okay, so we have whatever way we want, we have all sort of the data. Now, what we can do is we can just copy it down, and we can have a Word document also, and we can paste it. Copy and paste. It's just on the cursor only, everything just on point and click whatever we want to do, and the SPSS software that is just working as per the statistician, I could say, as per the statistician on his directions. जो भी चीज हमें चाहिए वो साथ की साथ इसमें हो सकती है. Just see if any doubt till here. I have gone for analysis, analyze, descriptive statistics as well as frequencies. अभी तक सिर्फ ये मैंने statistics वाला part किया है इसमें. Similarly, if I want to go for charts, I want to show this diagram, so this data in the bar chart or as a pie diagram, anything it could be. Let it be, I want to show the bar chart and I want to show the frequencies. And in this case, okay. Just this is the bar chart. Again, I would repeat this thing. I go into analyze, descriptive statistics, frequencies, age and marital status are already there. And in that case, I go for bar chart, I go for percentage, and then continue, and then okay. This is the percentage, okay? And from here, I can just copy it down and paste it in my Word document. So, जितने भी इसमें options हैं, we can just, जितना हमें जो भी softwares, whenever we are working on the software, we just need to understand how we can just handle it. What are the various options? And these are all the things we need to explore when we are starting something new. Once we have explored, we just come to know we have a number of options. We have a number of things which we can do. Even if we, let it be, I go for this statistics again, continue, whatever is okay, it's continued. Then charts I go for, continued. Format how I want my values, in ascending values, descending values, everything in it is in my hand. Okay, that is just on my clicks, what I want to do, and accordingly we can just continue. I go further, analyze, descriptive statistics, and now we go for descriptives. Again, I go for, let it be, income. You can choose number of variables at a time by pressing control also. Let it be, ये सारे मैं एक ही टाइम पे इनको अगर मैं चूज भी कर रही हूँ, so these would be in one click. If I don't want anyone, I have chosen something wrong, again reverse it, वापस हो जाएगा वो. ठीक है, ऑप्शंस वही आगे डिस्क्रिप्टिव में भी. कंटिन्यू. Okay. See, this is the sort of the table which we require when we want to report any of our statistics in any of our research. So if we want to talk about income, N is 400, minimum is 9, maximum is 873. The mean income is 79.4500. Standard deviation is given. This is all what we have clicked. We'll get all the data, we'll get all the statistics which we have chosen. Okay, so we have chosen in this case 3 variables: income, age, as well as income category, and accordingly we have got this descriptive statistics. You see, analyze, descriptive statistics and descriptives. Descriptives को चूज करके जो भी variables हमें चाहिए उन variables को लिया, and whatever options we want to have that we have chosen, we clicked OK and we got our results. यहाँ तक if anybody is having any doubt.
Excuse me, madam. Madam,
Yes.
actually, I couldn't understand how to transport data from Excel sheet to SPSS.
Yes,
Actually, I
ma'am.
couldn't, due to poor connectivity, I couldn't understand that.
How
This
to,
is clear how to transport data, whatever we have collected on Excel sheet to SPSS software.
okay, that is
Then
from,
only we'll be able to do all this.
yes ma'am. Either one thing is, अगर किसी टाइम पे कोई प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, हमारी शीट नहीं एक्सपोर्ट हो रही है, otherwise we go into file, we go into new, and we go into the data, and from the data we export the sheet. It could be the Excel sheet.
Doctor, you are echoing, Doctor. Maybe. Your voice is echoing, Dr. Meena.
Just a minute, sir. I am having two devices. One for the view also might be the.
Yeah, that is why I caution, Doctor.
Yeah.
No mistake, right?
Just. Poonam ma'am, in this case, if I
Yes,
go.
yes, ma'am, yes.
Yes. From this file, we go into new, and in this case, data, and either you can export, you can import the Excel files, or the Excel sheet that could be saved as CSV file, right? And in that case, let it be, I have this, just a minute. I have this file. I am opening it. Let it be. I'll close the previous one. And this is open from here, right? This is already open. So this is showing that this dialog box. This is my file which I could attach with it. And accordingly, data view as well as variable view would be shown. Variable view, we just write about the code book. This is all about the
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Got it now.
Alright. Further, till now we were talking about the single descriptors. This is one thing that is cross tab. In cross tab, let it be, I want to talk about age, that is in rows, and something related to income, and just we go for statistics. You go for correlation, go for continue. Okay, let's see what we are having. So we are getting something related to age and income. इससे पहले जब हमने किया था, we were having data just for one variable in one table. Here we want to, in the case of cross tabs, we are talking about two variables in one table. Okay, just see. Age is over here and this is income. So age and income, they are shown in one table. Any sort of the things we can do when we want to talk about cross tabs. We would be having different variables in the rows. We would be having different variables in the columns. And accordingly, we can just find out कि कितने age group वाले इसमें कितने के लोग हैं. So whatever sort of the statistics we require. I have gone through analyze, descriptive statistics, and cross tab. That was the option which I have taken. These are all the statistics summary. If we want to talk about, maybe I cross it. This is all the statistics summary which we want to talk about. We have the frequency table, we have the charts. Charts could be expressed in the form of the bar charts. We want to show about gender, height, whatever variables we are having, accordingly we can denote it. I'll further show, let it be analyze, डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टैटिस्टिक्स. इसमें जितना भी है ये जो भी हम दिखाना चाहते हैं अभी तक के लिए, इट इज फ्रीक्वेंसी, डिस्क्रिप्टिव्स एज वेल एज क्रॉस टैब्स which I have discussed. Then it could be something related to the tables. How you want to custom the tables, what do you want to show, क्या तुम्हारे columns में आएगा क्या नहीं आएगा, वो सारी चीजें. Then it is something related to compare means. You can compare the means, how the two variables जो भी हमने choose किए हैं, दो लिए हैं या दो से ज्यादा लिए हैं, whatever those sort of the things, we can just compare those what the data is going to indicate us. And accordingly, we want to talk about the means, we want to talk about the one sample t-test, we want to talk about independent samples, the paired samples, the one-way ANOVA, it could be anything. For example, if I want to compare the means, let it be I go for gender, and I go for income. Okay. Options. These are the things which I am going to calculate: mean, number of cases, standard deviation, anything we can. Range ले सकते हैं, minimum, maximum ले सकते हैं. Whatever you want to choose, you just have to. So this is the frequency. No, wait. I take income as dependent variable and gender I have reversed. Just see. Now in this case, what it happened, when I previously clicked on, I have not chosen what I wanted to do, what I wanted to show. उसके साथ मेरे कोई results नहीं आए because एक click pending रह गई जो मैंने show नहीं की. ठीक है? So we have to see whatever things we are expressing, whatever data we want, and accordingly we have to click those options. So in this case, this is the case processing summary for this means when we have written compare means. So income category, income as well as gender, इसका relation दिखाया है हमने. For first, this is the mean, this is the range, this is minimum, this is maximum. And when we talk about this ANOVA table, income category in context to gender, इसका जो डायरेक्ट एसोसिएशन है दैट इज इनकम और जेंडर का, दैट इज 0.087.
हम इस घर में विषय पर्दे नहीं लगाते, हमें जरूरत ही नहीं पर्दे आती. मेरे को लगता ही नहीं. बड़े तलाव पर्दे आप को देखा ना.
सिमिलरली, इज इट ओके? यहाँ पे जस्ट मैं एक ऑप्शंस बता रही हूँ आपके पास. whatever things we are having, we can go into the analyze, we can open anything, whatever things we want, and obviously whenever we are using these softwares, we can just explore it. क्या क्या चीजें इसमें पॉसिबल है, क्या चीज आप कर सकते हो इसके थ्रू. ठीक है? कौन कौन से बेसिस पे, whatever analysis you require, we know it beforehand कि हमने कौन सा टूल यहाँ पे लगाना है, क्या चीज हमने करनी है, उसके बेसिस पे we get the statistics. Even I think in the next session we would be having correlation. So in detail we can go over there. But otherwise correlation, regression, these are all the things which we are having. This is for the dimension reduction. If you have heard about factor analysis, Okay, we are having so many statements and we want to just reduce our data on the basis of some of the commonness in the dimensions, and accordingly that sort of the dimension, that sort of the factors, they would be, those statements would come under one single factor, right? That is under dimension reduction when we want to when we want to apply factor analysis. एंड फैक्टर एनालिसिस 36 स्टेटमेंट्स हैं मान लो मेरे पास, 36 स्टेटमेंट्स में से मेरे पास 8 फैक्टर 6 फैक्टर कुछ भी बन के आ गए हैं, और इवन आई कैन राइट अबाउट हाउ मेनी फैक्टर्स आई रिक्वायर, राइट, व्हेन आई वांट टू calculate it. It depends upon what sort of the study I am making about. For I had one of my in studies related to the HRM practices. So I had 36 statements, and out of those 36 statements, because individually अगर उन statements को मैंने Likert scale के ऊपर लिया हुआ है, and I was not able to make up what the respondents want to answer. And let it be, if the sample size was, let it be near about 400, in that case I can't express anything strongly कि मेरा डेटा दिखा क्या रहा है, ये 400 लोग क्या क्या कह रहे हैं on the basis of the various statements. So when I go for this dimension reduction, I was able to explore 8 factors out of those dimension reduction, out of those 36 statements. And अगर किसी का उसमें से that again depends कि पूरा का पूरा वो factor analysis जब लगा रहे हैं, क्रॉनबैक जिनका कम होता है उनको हम इग्नोर भी कर देते हैं, निग्लेक्ट कर देते हैं उन स्टेटमेंट्स को, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली वी कैन जस्ट गेट दैट फैक्टर्स, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली उसके ऊपर फर्दर अगर हमने रिग्रेशन लगाना है, so it depends which are going to be the dependent variables, which are going to be the independent variables. In that case HRM practices का मेरे पास 8 practices जो आई, that was the bundle of the practices, and accordingly I was able to regress it with the help of employee retention. It could be regressed on the basis of some other variable like job satisfaction. Key, when we are talking about this regression and all, here we want to talk about जो HRM practices हैं एक example के through, that is HRM practices and regression. उस example के through I just wanted to show कि what is the impact. Okay, sorry. What is the impact of this HRM practices on the job satisfaction of the employees? That could be shown through this regression analysis. And sorry, I, being a North Indian, so I just missed this concept कि so many people might not be able to understand Hindi also. I'm really sorry. I can repeat if any point I have left or missed, or if you were not able to get it. You can write down any message in the chat box if I require to. I'm sorry, sir. Please, could you convey which is the point which you have missed? I can repeat it again. Dr. Prateek and Shubhu Lakshmi, please, could you convey your point?
The regression point, doctor.
Yes. Okay, I'll repeat it again. I was just exploring what are all the options when we go into analyze. And in this case, descriptive statistics, which I have shown, tables we can do, compare means, it is that sort of the things, correlation, regression, dimension reduction. So I was taking the example from this dimension reduction that if we are having large number of statements, and let it be I have 36 statements related to some HR practices or HR related statements, but those from those 36 statements I am not able to derive any results as yet. Okay, that is on the basis of the Likert scale. The people have just viewed whatever they want to, related what is their agreeableness related to that statement. For example, if anybody asked, are you okay with the salary which you are receiving? So are you okay with the work conditions? Are you okay with the type of the supervision that is followed in your organization? And accordingly, we can't expect that all the respondents, they are okay with all the points, with all the practices. So accordingly, they just write down, they just click on the Likert scale, what is their option, what is their liking, and we get some sort of the data. Now on that basis, we just want to find out what these 36 statements want to express, and accordingly we go for this dimension reduction, which is the factor analysis. So factor analysis, which we go through this dimension reduction, and we will get some factors, some let it be, I chose for 4 factors, 5 factors. So I would be having whole of my data of 400 respondents and 36 statements clubbed together into 4 factors or 5 factors. Number of factors I have chosen, right? I want 4 factors, I want 5 factors, and the factors which are clubbed, those, that is on the basis of the similarity between the statements. So one category of statements, if it is related to compensation and all, and accordingly those will categorize, those will come into one factor. And after that, after those categories, we just go through these statements, then we name the factors. We name the factor, and accordingly we would be having some data set where we want to say, majorly from our study, let it be, we got 5 factors. Now, your point was related to regression. So I have the data on the HRM practices. Just from that data, from the all the HRM practices, I got the factors, let it be the 5 factors. Now I want to see my relationship of HRM practices with job satisfaction of the respondents, of my employees, right? Or it could be another variable, let it be, I want to have a relationship of HRM practices and employee retention, right? So in that case, I can regress. I can go for this regression, right? In this case, the dependent variable as well as the independent variable would be there. See, I go for this, let it be linear models. So dependent variable, if it is dependent, is job satisfaction. Job satisfaction is dependent upon what? That is the independent variable, that is HRM practices, right? So in this case, we will go for this statistics. We will choose all this. Okay, that data sheet I can share with you. You can just try on that sheet afterwards also. So whenever you people, I think my email ID would also be with the with sir, and the organizers can share my email with the participants. If they do have any of the doubts also, I think I would be open to answer your queries. You can just write me on the mail, and it is Dr. drmeenucommerce@gmail.com, right? If you have any queries related to that, you can even write to me. I will try to answer to all your queries related to this SPSS and all. So in this case, when we are going for this regression, the data sheet I could be sharing with you. Okay, right now I have not attached that data sheet. I thought it would be going for the basics only. So the basic sheet I have attached in this case, which I wanted to show. So when we go for this regression, we choose the dependent as well as the independent variable, and accordingly we go for the statistics. Whatever things we want to choose, whatever the R value, the R square value, the model fit, everything would be shown. And accordingly, जो भी हम choose करते हैं, whatever things we select as per the descriptives, as well as per the model fit, as per the R squares. So we require basically the R, right? Adjusted R. And in that case, continue, and we would be getting the results. From that results, we can interpret what our results are showing, and we can just show the impact also. Let it be, if my answer was on my data, it was related to 0.87. That was the answer which I got. Adjusted R square was 0.87. So that 0.87 indicated that when I see the impact of HRM practices on job satisfaction of the employees, that is 0.87. That the job satisfaction depends upon the HR practices which are prevalent in the organization, and 87% of effect is through the HRM practices. And the remaining, it is 13%. That could be some other factors also. That can be the personal factors, that can be the individual factors of the respondent. So in that case, we just want to show the impact. So just see till now. Should I attach some other sheets if you want more of the things? Or I can just repeat these things, or I can share the data sheet and you people can just have and try it on your softwares if you are having the software with you. Just tell me, how should I proceed?
Ma'am, you can attach, ma'am. We will verify it with our software.
Okay.
That will be helpful for ANOVA, MANOVA variants also. Similar procedures.
Okay, so you want I can attach the sheets afterwards.
Wonderful.
And yeah, you can just
test also.
yeah. Okay. And if you have similarly any doubts, then you can just ask me, right? You can write to me. Okay. So just see over here. In this output, it is on the left hand side. Whatever things I have done, everything is being shown. Okay? If I go for any of the commands multiple times, that is also going over here multiple times. See, the number of times I've gone for any of the command, that many times it is showing what the results I got. I go for these frequencies. First one, I get these frequencies figures, right? I go for this frequency table. Whatever thing we want to get, we can have it. I go for this cross tab. I get the cross tab data over here, right? I go for this means. Whatever thing I want, I can have. Then further, one thing more. Let it be. I go into the files. Whatever result sheets I have, if I want to share those result sheets as it is, I can go like this, save. Okay, just tell which place you want to get it saved. I go for desktop, go for this ME folder. I go into SPSS, I go for Weltec, and accordingly, if my file name is output 5, or let it be the file name is Weltec, I will just save this file. Now, if I go into my folder, Weltec, this Weltec file is there, right? This is the icon. When we want to show this is the file which statistical output sheet, and this output document, this is open just only in SPSS. We can't open it anywhere else. These are all the demo files which I am having in it. Similarly, if I close this file, let it be. Now I want to just if I want my previous file, previous data sheet, I have closed it once. I go into file, I go into output, and I can open these files, right? I mean to say, I don't want to do all the work which I have done in my previous setting to do it again and again. I can just save my output sheet, and whenever I go for the next setting, I can just open that sheet which I was working upon, and I can further calculate whatever things I want to. See, I can open it. Just can go through this, all these icons. You can get whatever way you want to express the data in your charts. For example, if you want to align it left, center, align right, this is in the data sheet as well as in the output sheet. And similarly, we can go for the charts from here also. One, for the graphs and the charts, we have gone through this analysis. We have chosen the descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics, we went for the descriptives. And in the descriptives, all the things we were having, okay, related to this. And similarly, we had analysis, we had frequencies, and in this frequencies we had the statistics options as well as the charts options. Okay, this was one thing where we have understood about the charts. Another thing, we go for this graphs. We want to see what we want to derive, and even here we have so many options the way we want to express it, what sort of the graphs we want to have, right? I want to have related to gender. The categories are given. I can choose bar charts. I can choose line diagrams, area wise, pie, scatter diagrams, histograms, high low, box plot, dual axis. These are all the options which I can choose from the graphs category, how I want to express, right? That would be related to the diagrammatical presentation or the graphical presentation of the data. Because whenever we want to report our results, in that case, again, we would be having the number of choices, how we want to denote it. Am I clear here? It is related to the graphs.
Yes, doctor. Clear.
Okay, right, sir. Even many a times it happens, we have chosen something, let it be, I have a table. I have chosen something in the rows, something I have chosen in the columns. And afterwards, when I want to write it down for it, I feel ki the data that I have taken on the rows, that should be in the columns and vice versa. So in that case, this is the data. We go into the data option and we can just transpose, right? Transpose means the rows could be changed into columns and vice versa as we require it. This is transpose. Similarly, we can merge two or more files if we require. We can have the aggregates and all. This is all through this data variations. Anything related to graphs, or I'll be crossing it out. Or if you want me to show, I can just show few of the things. Could anyone tell me why we call it descriptive statistics? Why we call it descriptive statistics?
Because all the data are clearly depicted both in the form of tables as well as in the form in which we desire, and nothing is discrete here.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. So in this case, we are describing the data, right? If we don't describe our data and we are having a large sheet, I would say an Excel sheet of let it be 400 people, 500 people, and let it be 10, 20 variables, we are not able to get anything, what we want to show, what we are having. The data is something which is very confusing if we are not able to derive any of the results. So in that case, we just want to have the descriptive statistics. We want to understand what sort of the things which we are having, what sort of the variables we are having, what is the range of the people, what is the range of the respondents related to our data, what they want to express, and accordingly, we need to express it in some concrete form. We can't say ki, 400 people are there, 400 respondents are there, and this person is saying this person is saying this. So we want to have something to describe the data on the basis of the mean. It could be on the minimum or the maximum range. It could be related to any of the levels, whatever things we want, right? And when we want to go for this explore, we want to go for the more detailing of these variables. We go for analyze, we go for descriptives, and we go for explore. And in that case, it could be related to any of the things. Let it be scale variables we are talking about. We want to talk about the dependent. We want to talk about independent, depends. So if we are talking only about the basics, that is the descriptives. If we have flexibility to choice, that is all related to the frequencies, and the details, that is in the explore, right?
That will help in making decisions also faster, and more accurate decisions could be made at the top level.
Yes.
Ma'am, how to check the normality of the data in SPSS?
Yes, sir. Actually, we want to find out if if we have just a minute. See, when we go for this minimum and maximum also, we come to know if we have any of the outliers. If that sort of the things are there, first we need to remove those outliers, and accordingly, then we can see how our data is plotted, and accordingly, we can just get the views through the graphs and all, and we can just check it.
Okay.
Otherwise, if the data is large, we don't have much of the normality problems also. And even I would say, if the data is more than a sample is more than 300, or it is 10 times of the statements which we have taken, in that case also the variability, the normality of the data is assumed to be okay.
Okay.
Okay. Even if I go into analyze, we have discussed something about the descriptives, the tables, compare means, then dimension reduction, right? And similarly, something about regression. And when we want to talk about correlation, it measures the relationship between two variables. And the range is between -1 to +1. And if we indicate, if we get the results where correlation is 0, it indicates that whatever variables we are taking, they are not related with each other, right? So in this case, the pairing of data may be there. For example, I want to talk about height as well as weight. So in that case, height and weight, that would be the two variables where I want to see if it is any relationship between height and weight of the respondent. Definitely, if we say if the height is more, might be the weight is more, right? So again, it depends if any variable is dependent upon other, if any association is between the variables, if we can relate anything, yeah, so we can express that thing. So in that case, even the Pearson formula would be there, two-tailed would be there related to the variance, and the flag significant, that would be indicated. I think this correlation, it will be taken in detail in the next session. So I must not be going into the detail for this correlation. I'll just attach one more sheet. Please give me a second. Till that time, you may please write down your queries if you have some.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. Dr. Meenu Singha, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Audience, any doubt? Please interact with madam. Participants. Participants.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Interact with the madam.
Madam has been very positive, sir. We discussed about graphical analysis and ANOVA variance, and she has described well.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Nanjin Sarif, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yeah, please, ma'am.
can you do testing of hypothesis with SPSS, ma'am? Calculating the test statistic,
Yes, ma'am.
t-test, ma'am.
Yes, when we want to calculate all the tests and all, we can do everything in this case. Only thing is, what is your hypothesis and what are your results? The values it matters, right? If you want to carry it on 1% significance level or 5% significance level, and accordingly, whatever data, whatever values we get, uske according, on the basis of those values, we write down our results.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, any other participants? Okay. Ma'am, can we conclude the session, ma'am? Meena Singla, ma'am?
Yes, I
Yes,
have
sir.
a question, please.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir, please.
Please, how can one determine the reliability test?
Could you please
How can
repeat?
Sir, not audible, sir. Please speak in clear.
Or you
the
can type
reliability
it
test?
out.
Not audible.
How can one determine the reliability test?
Reliability test.
Yes. When we want to talk about this reliability test, everything it is possible when we are going through this. Even I would say, we go when we are calculating this dimension reduction, we get everything in that case. Reliability, Cronbach alpha. Okay, those are the values which we get. I am just trying to attach one sheet. If I am able to do it, I would be able to show you also. Right? Just give me a second.
Yeah, slides open, Rana. Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
can we conclude the session, ma'am?
Till how much time I can take up the session, sir?
Your wish, madam. You take more time also.
Okay. Just a minute. If I am able to get the, I was thinking I am just supposed for the basics, but I would be going for factor analysis with the data sheet, if and I can show the reliability and everything along with it.
Yes, madam.
Yes. किने का data sheet? Idea. की करना है तने स्निपिंग टूल पे ए चो कर लो
Ma'am?
No, sir. For the timing, I'm not able to attach for factor analysis. Let it be it is some other time when I am going to share factor analysis where I can show everything about this, how we are exploring the factors and how the analysis is done. Let it be it is for the next time. And for today, I am open for all these basics related to this SPSS.
Yes, advanced level afternoon section, Dr. Sujata madam will share. For
Yes, yes,
46. Yes.
right.
Yes, madam.
Even
Can we conclude this session, madam?
yeah, if it is possible, I can take some session some other day also where I could be talking about the advanced tools on SPSS also.
Yes,
This
madam.
was this was basically related to the simple things where we are talking about only the descriptives and all, right?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
So till now, if anybody is having any of the doubts, you may please ask.
Yes, please, participants. Yes. Yusuf Muhammad Isan. Yes, ma'am. I think participants no not having any doubt.
Cleared.
Yes, ma'am. Nice presentation, ma'am. Nice demonstration. We are very happy to see your presentation, madam. So now we conclude the formal conclusion, madam.
Thank you so much, sir.
Madhumita.
You can please share my
Yes, sir.
email with the participants if they require. If they have any of the doubts, they can just write me.
Definitely, I will share, madam. Please share your PPT, madam. I will share to our participants.
Okay, right, sir.
Yes. Vasiki.
Thank you, sir. Yes, yes. Now, I conclude this session with our vote of thanks. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your excellent presentation. You have explained everything clear and sufficient information about SPSS. Once again, thank you, ma'am. I extend my thanks to all the participants. This session is over. The next session will start at 2:45 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Madam.
Thank you all the participants for your patience hearing also.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
000 30 99 60 20 000 20 000 20 99 60 29 000 30 She took more time. Okay, go back in. 0823 going into another. Okay.